Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I got halfway through filming this video and I realised I didn't have my fucking headphones on or my fucking microphone on. Welcome back to an episode of Retail Horror Stories where I talk about my life working in retail. I suppose technically I still work in retail, not going into what I do for a living now. But yeah, I've worked in Currys, electrical stores, and I ended up in fashion, working in the fashion industry, believe it or not. When I came back from living abroad, I applied for a job in USC. Oh, there goes the drag racing. Yeah, I applied for a job in USC. Because it was the closest to the bus stop. First CV I handed in, I got the job as an assistant manager, and I completely forgot about this story. It's a wild one, right, if you think about it. It was wild for me anyway. But I was on Saturday, just gone. I went to Cardiff with my mates, and we went into Game, which is most games now, if not, well, most games I believe, are now inside the Sports Direct, like in the fucking back, downstairs, in the far corner, so you got to look for it. So they must have bought them out, or there's some deal going on there or something like that, right? And I was in there and I was quite impressed with some of the clothes. You had to go through the shop, downstairs, through the shop and stuff like that. Some nice, as much as it pains me because I don't like the company anymore. Because if you didn't know, Sports Direct bought out USC, and that's when I was working for them, when they were just been bought out from Sports Direct. Did I say that right? Sports Direct bought out USC. Sorry, the bikes confused me. Yeah, so I'm shit at telling stories, I know. So thank you to anyone who's actually still with me, you know. So I went in. I was an assistant manager, and I'd been there for a year or so. And we had this regional manager. He's from London. And there's a lot of weird rules with working in USC. Like, for example, you had to be out of the office. You had to be in work by 8. And I mean by 8. And you had to fingerprint scan on the till. So, and that was through all the corridors from the back, downstairs, on the till. So, you know, I had to turn all the lights on. So you couldn't be like, you had to be about 5 minutes before, just to make sure you clocked in on time. And so you couldn't blag it. So say my man just, clock me in. You couldn't do it. She had to be there to scan her own fingerprint in, you know. And one of the rules was you had to be on the floor doing your briefing either 10 or 15 minutes. Currys had a similar thing as well, where you had to be downstairs, done your floor walk, read all the emails, and basically from the emails, if there's any business updates, you're briefing your team 10 or 15 minutes before we open the shop, okay? So you weren't meant to be in the office. And they even went to the point where they would name and shame the people that were in the office when they shouldn't be in the office. I went to a conference, I'm going off track a bit, but you know, basically they put your photograph up and say what's your name and store, like, this person's been caught. But every single photo they were showing, people are doing work on their lunch break or something. Like you weren't supposed to be in the office at all on a Saturday. They wanted everybody. In theory, I agreed with it. Everybody had to be on the shop floor, customer facing. But some of the managers wanted to catch up on rotas or emails on their lunch breaks. They've eaten their food, doing rotas on their lunch break. But no, you're not allowed to be in the office. You should be on the shop floor, eating your food, serving customers. Anyway, so one of these rules was you had to be downstairs, say, call it 10 minutes before the start of your shift. Well, this regional manager, he had this fucking terrible habit of emailing you within that, so say 10 to 9, he'd send you an email saying there's a conference call at 9:05. Well, you know, if you're doing your job, just by chance, why would you go back up? You open the shop, why would you go back up to the office just to check? But because he was a fucking idiot, he'd amount of conference calls I nearly missed, and my boss nearly missed because of this guy. And he was an ass. If you missed the conference call, he would phone you up. So basically what happened, I'm doing my job, and I'll backtrack a couple of days. I know I'm shit at telling stories. I'm really sorry. Bear with me. I'd been on this new medication, and it's a bit of trial and error with this medication, and I just couldn't sleep. I'm talking, it's the longest I've ever gone without sleeping. I think the first night I had no sleep. The second night I must have slept for about 3 hours. And then the last night I had no sleep. So I had like 3 hours sleep in 3 days. I shouldn't have been in work, but this was my last day. Then I had a long weekend off. I was struggling. Like my eyes were burning. You know, your eyes get tired. The bus journey was awful. I was drinking fucking energy drinks, coffee, all that shit just to get me through the day. I was full on survival mode, right? I shouldn't have been in work, okay? So it was one of those days, right? So I was having a bad time. So then it was 1 minute past 9. Shop's open. Customer comes in. We're just serving customers. But one of my things I like to do, I used to open I aim to do it 5 minutes. But sometimes if I had a bigger briefing, I couldn't. But I always used to open the shop a little bit earlier. I wanted to be the first store in the town to be open. You know, it's just a silly little thing. So we've been open a couple of minutes. The phone's ringing. I'm aware the phone is ringing, right? But I'm talking to this customer, a regular customer. And I think she was doing shopping for her grandkids or something. And she was a good customer, right? She'd spend anywhere from £100 to fucking like £500, something stupid like that. Because it was a high-end fashion retailer we were. We had Armani and G-Star, Diesel, expensive stuff, you know. So, nice start to the day, happy days, hit a couple of my KPIs for the customer, you know. Great. Phone's ringing again. So I rushed to the phone because it's right by the till. I just finished that. Yeah, ta-ra, see you later. Phone's ringing. It's my area manager. His name was Martin. I don't care about names. I don't work there anymore, do you know what I mean? And he goes, is that Anthony? That's my professional name. Tony, but he didn't go, is that Tony Fighter? I don't go by that name in the real world. She said, Anthony. I said, yeah, speaking. Right, he said, why aren't you on the conference call? We're all waiting for you on the conference call. I don't know, I was so tired, right? I tried to tell him, I said, I've been serving customers, following your rule. He kept like interrupting me. And I said to him, look, why don't you email us earlier? If you want to have a conference call, email us. You've got between 8 o'clock and fucking 10 to 8 to send us an email to say, I want to have a conference call at 5 past 9. And he said, I'll have a conference call. No, I'll email you about a conference call as and when I need to. And I said, yeah, but I'm on the shop floor. Remember that email you sent out 3 months ago that we're supposed to all be on the shop floor? He said something like, you trying to tell me how to do my job? Oh, I don't know, because I hadn't slept, right? I still can't believe I did this, right? So on the phone, I'll add as well, I didn't know at the time. He's sly like this, right? I was on the phone, as far as I know, it was a private phone call between me and him. The whole area's on the phone, so he phoned me on loudspeaker on the conference call. So all the managers on our south area, I don't know, 40 odd managers are on this call listening, and he's trying to be the big man, like, you know, tell little Tony off or little Anthony off. She goes, don't tell me, I'll have a conference call if and when I need to. And it just entered my head, and if I wasn't tired, I got this filter and I say, right, I'm a professional, I won't say it. But he caught me off guard, right, because I hadn't been sleeping. I went there and I came out of there straight away. I said, just fuck off, will you? And I was just on the phone like that. Did I just say that? And he was like, excuse me? And I thought, I'm sacked anyway. I said, you fucking heard, you little cunt. And slammed the phone down. I was like, shit. I was only the assistant manager at this time, right? My manager was off. I thought, fuck. What do I do? I said, I'll just quit or something now so I don't get sacked. It felt good in a way. I got to be honest. It felt good, right? Telling, because he was a dickhead. He was a dickhead, right? And I thought, fuck. Again, I didn't know I was on this conference call. I didn't know that. I just saw it was a private phone call. So I text my boss. I said, look, I know you're off. I don't like, she was one like, just anything wrong, just phone me. I didn't like when people used to phone me on my day off, so I wouldn't. So I thought, I better text her just to say that I'm fired. So I text her like, hey Tracy, I'm really sorry. I haven't been feeling myself, but I just told Martin to go fuck himself, and I'm pretty sure I called him a cunt as well. She phoned back straight away. She goes, "He didn't really do that though." I said, "This is exactly how it happened. He was on the phone call, blah, 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 blah." I said, "Jesus Christ," she said. I said, "I'm really sorry I've let you down. Do you want me to quit now?" No, don't quit. I said, "Look, I got 2 days off. If you want me to come in on tomorrow," I'm glad she said no. She said, "Do you want me to come in tomorrow, give you the keys, and we'll call it quits?" I didn't really enjoy my job in there, do you know what I mean? It was just something, I should work really hard in there, don't get me wrong, but looking back, I was miserable as fuck working there, right? I'd never dreamed to do this with any of my... I've had some dickhead bosses in my time, right? Which I will name and shame on this channel. But yeah, I just... and she said, no, right, leave it with me now. So she phoned back then. She goes... she said, "I did hear it. And yeah, you did say exactly that." And I said, "Yeah, why would I lie?" She goes, it was on a conference call. He shouldn't have done that. Like, trying to belittle me. So I thought, I felt 10 times worse. I was embarrassed. I thought, fuck, I'm trying to tell him. All the blame was on me, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So then I had my 2 days off. Tracy said, "Look, sleep for 2 days." I think I tried to sleep. I came off those tablets. I've never gone back on them tablets again. Because I can't sleep, like, do you know what I mean? I think it was painkillers for my back, if I remember. But they were good for my back. But there was all these side effects. That's what it was. So I've had a bad back ever since, basically. So I came back in. There's an email then that morning. Tracy, my boss, is in, right? And he's doing a visit the next day. I thought, oh, right, we hadn't seen him for fucking months. I tell him, fuck off, call him a cunt. And then he's all of a sudden going to come and visit. So I thought, oh, fuck. I'll apologise. I was just like, thought I was going to get sacked. I thought, I'll just come in. I just had the attitude, I can get another job. This was the first job I applied for. So when I came back to the country, I had retail experience, good experience, you know. I was good at it. Whatever, big-headed. I was a good retail manager, right? So the next day, he comes in. I'm opening the shutter at the front of the shop. And he's standing on the other side. I can see his little fucking posh little shoes and all that. I said to him, "Look, I'm really sorry. You caught me at a really bad moment, worst possible time. Look, we'll talk about it in the office, but it's okay." Fair play, I thought. So we had it out, and he was like, "Well, what's your problem?" So a couple of hours when he didn't do it straight away. I really wanted to speak to him. I couldn't apologise enough, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, fuck, oh, I'm so lucky, right? So then we went to, he got moved from that job into another job, and we went, how did it work now? So I can't remember how I found out. So basically, my boss had his job, and I had my boss's job. So she became regional manager, I became store manager. So she had access to a lot more gossip, I suppose. And it turns out he had an absolute bollocking, because he had to take, I didn't think of this, he had to take his conference call, thinking he's the big man, where someone had told him to fuck off and called him a cunt. I said, "Well, you fucking heard me." Like, you know, not twice, but I'm a lot bigger than this guy. He didn't intimidate me. He was just my boss's boss at the time, you know. So then, yeah, I got promoted out of it. Yeah, and his boss then, who was like the number 2 or number 3 in the whole company, like I'm talking sports direct, so a really important person with the company, give him a bollocking. It's like, oh, so you people... I had a reputation then as the good guy. I was the guy that stood up to this fucking dickhead. So then, not long after I got promoted, we had this meeting in Shirebrook, where the head office is, and we're all there, all these managers. "Oh, I'm important, I'm the manager of a store. I'm important, I'm a manager. Yeah, me. And I was there, "Hello, yeah." You know, some people are talking to me, some people are like looking, "Who's this fucking scumbag?" And then we had to introduce ourselves, and it was a bit intimidating, right? It's a full-on day, this was, right? So you had to stand up and say how long you've been with the company, what store you're the manager of, and one or two usual icebreaker things like that. So the guy that I told to fuck off, his new job, he was heavily involved in taking these meetings. So he was like, yeah, okay, stand up, tell. And he said, oh, Anthony, stand up. So I stood up and I said my bit. Yes, Swansea manager. I've been manager for 2 months. I've been with the company 18 months or whatever I've been. Yeah, okay. And then when I said I'm new, this is my first manager job. And he went, and rightly so. He was like bigging me up and stuff, this guy. So again, so I was a nobody when we went into this meeting. We had our first break. I almost had a queue with people coming up to me, right? Like this woman, a beautiful looking woman in the fashion industry. A lot of the women you work with, maybe the men are good looking, I don't know. But there was more 10 out of 10 women in this meeting than not 10 out of 10 women, okay? Sorry if that sounds sexist, but yeah, it was beautiful women. And this first woman came up to me. I was like, eating my sandwich, like, you right? Like, I thought she was going to ask me, do I know where the toilets are or something? She goes, oh, are you Anthony? I said, yeah, that's right, Swansea. Can I shake your hand? I was like, okay. And she said, that was the funniest thing ever. That made my week. I've always wanted to tell him this and that. Next thing, 2 other women came over. There's mainly women managers, right? So 2 other women. Anthony, fair play. Oh, it was just, I swear to God, there's about 20 managers came up to me and said how good it was. We were split up into groups and we were told we had to like do like this, give us a project, we had to feedback and stuff. I could just tell whenever like I spoke, everybody shut up. Maybe they thought I was going to, this guy that I didn't give a shit, I'll tell you to fuck off, I don't care who you are. But I'm not like that at all, but it's just that worst possible moment. This guy caught me and I just said it and it just came out. But it was one of the best things I ever did for my career with that company. I tried to quit 3 times. I had pay negotiate. I just had a titful. And I said, right, I quit. It's 1 month notice. They talk me out of it. They offer me this, offer me that. I just couldn't be bothered there, like, do you know what I mean? And yeah, so that was my story where I told my area manager to fuck off. Yeah, and I felt really, really fucking good. Like, looking back at the time, it didn't. I thought I was unemployed. Thought I'd be signing on the next day, like. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little story. That must have happened, I want to say 2013, maybe 2000. Yeah, around about late 2013, I want to say, in the lead up to Christmas 2013. Yeah, so let me know in the comments what you thought of that story. Do you want me to do more retail horror stories? I just totally forgot about that little episode, do you know what I mean? I got a couple of other ones, but none where I've been so rude to anyone, you know? I've had a couple of shoplifters I've had a bit of fun with, let's say. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Do you want to hear more retail horror stories? I think I've done 1 or 2 in the past. I think I've got some funny stories of people I used to work with. Really good one. There's a girl working there in that store. What a character. Yeah, and this is a calmer one. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you want to hear any more of these stories. I was mainly a gaming channel, but I enjoy sharing my stories of retail horror stories with you guys. There we are. We'll cut it off there. As always, thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.